Good afternoon, Sierra Vista and surrounding community. This is Melanie Edwards-Barton, CEO at the Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Matt Salmon. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's great to be here, Melanie. Thank you.
Great to have you. So Matt is running for governor.
Correct.
And just a little reminder, the chamber is nonpartisan, but we're bringing you as many candidates as we can so that you can hear from them and make informed decisions when you go to the polls. So running for governor.
Yes, ma'am.
That's exciting.
Well, it's exciting. It's challenging. I've been around the state so many different times, and it's wonderful. We have a great, big, beautiful state. And what I keep hearing from people is, you're not just going to look out for Maricopa County. We have a great, big, beautiful state outside of Maricopa County, and we hope that you're hearing us. And boy, am I. We've got a lot of really great assets outside of Maricopa County. I intend to use them.
Wonderful. And that's what we like to hear down here because
Absolutely.
We are rural. And so people automatically think, oh, Phoenix, Maricopa County. And
we got so much to offer statewide. And you see so much diversity, between Phoenix and Flagstaff and Sierra Vista and Yuma. And we have a wonderful state and wonderful people and wonderful assets, and we've got to use them all.
I agree. Absolutely. And wonderful to have candidates come down here to see what we have down here, recognize what we have, and be able to take that information back to the Capitol.
Absolutely.
And share that. And also for us to be able to have a conversation and say, this is what we need down here in our area and in all the rural areas.
I've worked with a couple of your state legislators, David Gowan and Gail Griffith, for many, many, many years, and they're dear friends. And they're not going to let me get away with not looking out for Sierra Vista, believe me. And I listen to them a lot.
Well, and we appreciate them. They're both members of the chamber as well. And they do advocate on our rural behalf down here. And we appreciate it so much.
Right. That's great.
So let's talk a little bit about your history. What do you bring to the governor's office?
Well, thanks for asking. I've been in Arizona since I was 12 years old and graduated from Mesa High School and Arizona State University. I started my first job actually in Tucson with Mountain Bell, the telephone company.
Mountain Bell.
Right.
Do you remember Mountain Bell?
Yeah, many, many years ago. I was with them for 13 years. And in 1990, I ran for the state Senate and got elected. I was one of the early pioneers of charter schools. And I was there when we passed that legislation, was a big part of that.
That's interesting. We have quite a few charter schools locally.
I'm such a big believer in school choice and giving parents the option to put their kids in the school that best meets the needs of their child. I'm a big believer in that. But then I ran for the U.S. House of Representatives, U.S. Congress in 1994 during the Contract with America, and I got elected. Since I was such a believer in one of the ideas in the Contract with America, term limits, I term limited myself to 3 terms. And unlike most people that made that promise, I actually kept my promise and I walked away. But I ended up, after 12 years, sitting it out, going back to Congress again. And so I believe that my background of having served both at the state level in the state Senate and in the U.S. Congress gives me, and 30 years of experience in the private sector. I've started companies. I was the president of a big telecommunications trade association back at the nation's capital for 3 years. So I believe combination of private sector leadership and leadership in the, as an elected official, both at the state and federal level, give me a level of experience none of the other candidates have. And I think that with all the challenges we face right now today, we need a governor who can hit the ground running. We don't need to put somebody who's going to be able to need on-the-job training. We need somebody who can hit the ground running, which I can. I've also been the state Republican Party chairman, and I know so many of those state legislators and have worked with them for so long. And I believe that I can hit the ground running, getting the things done that we need done in Arizona, dealing with our water, dealing with our border issues, dealing with our economic development, our schools. All these things are incredibly important, but policy matters. And this is something I know really well, and I know how to get things done.
Well, we like it when people know how to get things done.
Right.
We don't like it when they just talk. And talk is great, but without action, it's kind of pointless.
That is the point. It's kind of like that old movie, Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money.
Oh, show me the money. Show me the money.
And after all said and done, our citizens really care about not what you say on TV or what bumper stickers you put out, but what do you really going to get done for the state of Arizona? And when you look at my record, I think most people out there, when they're voting for people, they've been lied to before. A candidate promises the predictor of what somebody's going to do is actually what they've done. And I have a record to show everybody, and I'm very proud of it. And I've been a strong pro-business advocate my whole life and gotten all kinds of awards from the business community for standing up against oppressive taxes, against regulation, and about getting business going and keeping government off their backs.
Wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about what your focus areas are going to be if you're elected.
Well, there's a whole bunch of things that I want to focus on, but obviously everybody in the state is concerned about the border situation, and that's something we've got to focus on, and I intend to. But I also believe that our economy, we have to focus on that like a laser beam. If we have great job opportunities for people in this state, it solves most of our other problems. But in order to have a really, really great economy, we need low taxes. I'm the only candidate advocating that we get rid of our income tax, which I think would be a really positive thing for Arizona, because a lot of businesses that are flying over us are going to Florida and Texas that don't have an income tax. And I believe if we got rid of our income tax, our job growth will be amazing all over the state. I'm not going to be focused just on Phoenix, all over the state. Here in Fort Huachuca or in Sierra Vista, where you've got Fort Huachuca, you have amazing opportunities in cybersecurity and a whole host of things surrounding the base. I want to focus on those things, but if we don't have an income tax, man, that gives us one big asset, another big asset to be able to lure business here. And they'll be paying property taxes, they'll be paying sales taxes, and the revenues will grow. We're sitting on a $5 billion surplus in our state budget right now, which is amazing, and a $1 billion rainy day fund. So I want to see us grow our businesses, but in order to do that, also we got to have great schools. You've got a great community college here, and I'm a big fan of the community college system. You've got the South Campus for U of A. You've got
and that's actually the College of Applied Sciences and Technology now.
Right. And I love talking to you before we got on about the plan that you guys have at the end of the year of building, a mechanism for bringing incubated businesses here, growing the business from the ground up. We have such great research going on that, especially back to cybersecurity, we can grow those businesses here in Sierra Vista from the ground up. And I intend to be an activist governor helping to make that happen. And that means that we've got to have a really good nexus, which I think you do have, but we can improve upon it, between the K-12, the community colleges, the universities, and the business community, bringing it all together for the benefit of jobs.
Well, and Cochise College and U of A CAST both have cyber programs now.
Right.
And of course, CAST is basically a cyber program, and I believe they're ranked #1 in the nation as far as cybersecurity education, which is incredible.
And that can translate into fantastic jobs.
Absolutely.
And we should be right at the front, leading the way for not just the state of Arizona, but having Sierra Vista lead the way for the whole country when it comes to cybersecurity. And that can be done. I truly do believe that if you have a governor that's not only willing to help provide the resources, because it's going to take some resources to be able to recruit those kinds of businesses here and grow them from the ground up, to dedicate the resources. When I say that, I mean state revenues to be able to help make that happen, as well as me being the biggest cheerleader on the planet to make sure that we get those businesses here.
Absolutely. And that's what we're working on. That's what we're trying to do down
I'm so
here
excited about it.
Bring incubator companies down here. And like we were talking beforehand, if you can work from anywhere, you want to live here. And
that's what we learned from COVID.
Why not come here and get the best education?
Right.
Why not come here and start your company? It's an incredible place to live.
You have, like you and I talked about beforehand, you have 4 seasons. It's a beautiful place with the mountains and the city, the landscape, everything, the weather. It's just really wonderful here. And I think you got a lot of marketing potential. You just need to have the resources behind it, which I intend to make sure you do, and work with you as the head of the state to do everything we can to bring, like that old movie Field of Dreams. If we build it, they will come, right? And that's what we need to do.
That's our plan. That's what we're working on. So,
well, I want to help you.
Wonderful. So I think you just kind of answered my next question, which are how important are rural areas to you and your overall plans?
Incredibly important. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest issues that we face that I didn't talk about in my previous comments is water. Mm-hmm. And as I go around the states, I've learned very, very clearly that you can't just say, oh, the water issue in Arizona. There's like 20 to 30 different water issues, depending on what part of the state you're in. Mm-hmm. And what works in Phoenix isn't necessarily going to work in Sierra Vista. I know you've got a water reclamation idea before Congress right now. I think it's called Riverstone.
I believe so. Yeah, yes.
And that project, needs to be supported mm-hmm. and funded. And there's so much more. But yeah, I'm a big fan of rural Arizona. There are so many wonderful options here that don't exist in Maricopa County, and we need to focus on those strengths. Absolutely. We need to bring the whole state along. Mm-hmm. It's not the state of Maricopa, it's the state of Arizona, and we've got to bring the whole state along.
We have heard that term, the state of Maricopa, repeatedly throughout this as we've had candidates come in for different offices.
Right.
And we hear the state of Maricopa. And, obviously we're not in the state of Maricopa. No. We're in the state of Arizona.
We are. And there are tremendous opportunities all across the state and strengths all across the state. Like I said before, I don't think there's any area of the state that has the strengths that Fort Huachuca has brought to you.
Correct.
It has a $3 billion impact on our economy annually. But besides that, when you look at the skill sets, I mean, it is, when it comes to intelligence training, it really is the number one training base in the whole world, for us. And we got to double down on that and build on those strengths and bring, like I said, other cybersecurity businesses or things that dovetail with the strengths of the base. And I intend to do that.
Wonderful. So are there any additional points that we haven't talked about? I'm sure you have a lot that you would like to talk about,
There's
but anything you want to really stress to our viewers out there?
I know we have a short time, but, I really want to focus a lot of attention on really high quality infrastructure throughout the whole state. A lot of the roads and bridges and highways in Arizona need some extra tender loving care, and that's going to be a focus. Obviously, I mentioned water. It's an existential issue. If we don't get it right, it's going to really harm us for a long time to come, if not be cataclysmic. And so we've got to get it right. Education, we really have to do a better job in this state of educating our kids. And I'm sick of the excuses. I'm just sick of them. I'm not willing to take it anymore. I think that we have to step up to the plate and stop aiming just for okay and aim for great.
I agree.
And our schools are, a lot of it's predicated on our leaders. Mm-hmm. If we have leaders that don't accept excuses, but expect excellence, that's what we're going to get.
And we know that we have amazing teachers.
We do.
In this area, across Arizona, incredible teachers that truly, truly care, and they're doing an amazing job. And so it's not where they're at that we need to work. It's above. But
there's so many things. When I was a state senator, I served on the education committee. And when I was a U.S. congressman, I served on the education committee. My daughter is on the Mesa School Board, got elected, and she's a strong advocate for education. And I just truly do believe that, in 10 years, 80% of the jobs that will exist don't exist today. Mm-hmm. That's how fast technology is changing. So our schools need to teach kids how to think, not what to think.
Correct.
And we have to do a lot better job when it comes to reading, writing, math, science. Civics are really important to me. And something that, got lost a long time ago. I know your schools are focused on it, but I really want to double down on vocational education because not every kid's going to college. And these certificates that are granted by the vocational education training, they're incredibly important. And a lot of these kids, my wife works for the CTED in Mesa area. It's called EVIT, East Valley Institute of Technology. They have over 40 certificate programs. Kids can graduate from high school with a certificate in welding or electrician or plumber, and they can walk into a $60,000, $70,000 a year job right out of high school. That's a good thing. And so we need it all.
Mhm.
We need, people with engineering degrees from the college, from the university, but we also need skilled trades as well.
And a focus on innovative thinking.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Not just what did we do in the past, which is so important. We need the past, we need the history, but what can we do in the future?
And how can we use all of the assets that we have to bring them to bear across this whole big, beautiful state?
I agree. So we will hopefully have you back here
Great.
after the primaries, September 9th. We're going to have a candidate meet and greet
Wonderful.
here locally.
Wonderful.
And so that'll give all of our viewers, everybody in the communities around it here, a chance to come and meet and greet the candidates face to face. And so we're hoping you'll be back on September 9th.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, Melanie.
Plan.
I will put it on my calendar and plan on being back. And I just want the folks in Sierra Vista to know that you have some really, really good leaders that have represented you in the past. And Melanie's one of them. And I want you to know that I intend to be accessible. I'd like to be doing town hall meetings and working with Melanie in the chamber here to find out what's important to you so that I can represent you better. And to me, good government is all about listening to the people. So that's what I intend to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Matt's going to hang out with me for just a few minutes. We've got just a few updates for you today. I want to remind you that tomorrow night is our annual gala and award ceremony. So that's really exciting. We haven't had one since 2019, thanks to COVID.
Right.
And so this is the first year since April of 2019 that we will be able to recognize our Ambassador of the Year and then our businesses of the year. And we have 4 categories. So we have our nonprofits, our home-based businesses, which blew up during COVID, obviously, and our small businesses and our large businesses. So that is going to happen on Friday evening. The doors open at 5. The program starts at 6. It's at the Old Door Shop. There are some tickets still available, so please make sure you jump on svachamber.com and get registered for that. And we'll definitely see you out there. It's going to be great. Want to thank our sponsors, SSVEC, Pioneer Title, and Herald Review Media, and Agile Defense. There we go. And so that is 5 o'clock Friday night, tomorrow night. Also, don't forget, we're going to Italy, Tuscany, Italy in October. So October 3rd through the 11th. If you want to get the early bird special, you need to sign up before midnight tomorrow. And then the price goes up a little bit after that, but we'll be spending a week in Italy. So we want you to go along. Isn't that great?
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, you don't have to be a chamber member to sign up.
It's the best.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we'll do some wine tasting and some exploring, and it's a lot of fun. So make sure you get signed up for that. You can find that link right on our chamber page, svachamber.com. Also, Military Affairs Committee Luncheon. This is the first one of the year, and that is coming up May 4th. So that's like next week. So this year seems to be flying by, but that'll be at Thunder Mountain Activity Center on Fort Huachuca as usual. We do have awardees for that, and our guest speaker is Randy Groth, and he is the president of the Huachuca 50 this year. So he's going to be our guest speaker. So if you want to do some great networking on the fort, please make sure you get registered for that. And that's also right on our website. You can get signed up for that. Want to thank our sponsor for that, Guild Mortgage. Thank you, Guild. And then in August, of course, we have our annual Home Health and Business Expo, August 20th. Registration is open for the vendors right now. You can just register right on our website for that as well. Cochise County information. Want to remind everybody, we have links in the comment section for this, but they are requesting citizen input on countywide broadband internet, which is something we were talking about, but they actually have a survey out there right now. So please make sure you jump on, complete this survey. This is really important for bringing broadband to our area. They have 3 different surveys. One is for residential, one is for business, and the other one is a speed test. So you can show them that it's not that fast, unfortunately, right now. So please make sure you jump on. You do need to do that before the end of this month, which is just a couple of days. So please make sure you jump on there today, and your input matters into whether or not that happens in this local area. And we need that. So even for those folks that are just frustrated when they're trying to watch Netflix, I mean, and it just spins.
That could be one of
So
the best boons for economic development here of all, because you can work from anywhere. Why wouldn't you want to live in beautiful Sierra Vista and conduct your business from broadband? And so that is a big priority for me too.
big priority. So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
definitely need broadband down here. And then, of course, the city of Sierra Vista, they have their West Fest happening this Saturday. This is really exciting, actually. They've had a major construction job on the west end of Fry Boulevard, right at the Buffalo Soldier Gate for the
Oh, wow.
post. And so they've done a lot of construction there, and they're making it a great area. It's going to take a few years to complete, but walking, shopping, dining area now. And so we're really excited about that. So they're going to be celebrating, and they're going to be doing a ribbon cutting, and they'll have things going on from 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night, and including bands and booze and face painting, magic acts, chalk art, street dance with live music. The band is No Alibis, and that's from 6 to 9. So admission is free. So please make sure that you go down there at the West End for the West Fest on Saturday around 3 o'clock, and be a lot going on down there. So really enjoy that. And that is all we're going to bring for you today. We've got some other things coming up, though, but thank you again for coming in and sharing your views and your hope for the future here of Arizona. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you. We're the Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce, your chamber